Hello gang, welcome back. I just realised I haven't got my LP cap on. What have I done with that? Must have left it in the car. Oh, what an idiot. Never mind. Welcome back to Notch 211. Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to my permission. I've come back to the same field I was on 2 or 3 weeks ago where I found that amazing William III silver shilling. I also found about 3/4 of what turned out to be a really sweetheart brooch. Probably Victorian to kind of Second World War, and it had the name Gertrude on it. And a massive thanks to each and every one of you that successfully identified that for me, because I was stumped, I've got to tell you. So there was quite a few of you, too many to mention, that picked it out. Thank you so much, that was the right result. So yes, we've come back to my permission, and I've come a bit of a longer route, hence the B-roll. I've been walking through the woods to get here, so my car is quite a way away. I'm short on time again. I've only got about 2.5 hours or so. But I'm really excited to come back here because finding those 2 bits of silver on a field that I thought I'd done pretty well with the Manticore, I thought, well, actually, you know, it's the first time I'd brought the Manticore onto this particular field. We found 2 bits of silver and some other bits and bobs, so why not bring it back, have a short video and see what we find. So without further ado, as always, a massive thank you. I really do appreciate you stopping by. If you like what you see, especially if you're new here, drop me a thumbs up, that would be cool, and also a cheeky subscribe would always be very welcome. But I'm conscious I'm waffling, I'm conscious time is of the essence. We've got a field to get on. Let's do it. Right, well, first one is high teens, but it's on the target line. I'm on all-terrain general on the Manticore, again, as I always am. And on my standard settings, which is the Freestyle program, which belongs to somebody else, Neil Jones. I've copied that program, but I've also noise cancelled and ground balanced. Noise cancelled to -5, ground balanced to 16. And we're going to dig that one up for our very first target. It's about there. And I thought I'd do a live dig as well. Boy, I'm spoiling you already. What I tend to do with my short digs is I tend to do a few live ones early on, whilst I've got a bit of time. And then as the time starts to run out, I tend to just dig them and show you. It just seems to be the way. It's a bit cold, it's a bit drizzly, and it's not very inspiring. But Christmas is coming, and that's always a nice time of year. Right, well, the blob is less convincing now, but it says it's still in the hole. It's nice and soft here, in this particular part anyway. It is quite a stony permission, so I'm obviously in a slightly different area than I normally am. What are you? There you go, I really do spoil it, don't I, on this channel. Aluminium to start. Moving on. Right, the next one is disc shaped. Came in as a 59. Quite a stable 59, but I thought we'd go in together. Could be a shotty, but it might be a coin. You can probably see it right in the middle of the screen. I've pinpointed it to there. The eagle-eyed amongst you will also have already realised that looking at my Manticore screen on that first dig, my sensitivity was set at 17. That was an error, I don't know why, but anyway, it's now on 23, just so you know. Anyway, let's have a look, see what we've got. Is it a coin, or is it going to be a shotty, or something else? No, that's a coin, I think. Oh yeah, bit of an imprint. Yeah, lovely. Oh, what a start, that's great, second hole. Yeah, George V, I think. Pretty sure, not sure. Pretty sure, not sure. Gosh, not quite with it yet, folks, as you can probably tell. Left me cap in the car, my LP cap. Right, well, okay, let's give that a squeeze. Oh my gosh, a squeeze. Oh, come on, Marcus. Let's pull it together. Sorry, folks. Let's give it a squirt. I'll be back to you in a sec. Can't quite see the date. You might be able to. Yeah, I think it's there though. I think we will find it. And there he is, as I thought, George V. Excellent little halfpenny. Happy days. Right, let's crack on. There we are, there's the next one. Up in those numbers again where that halfpenny came from. and it feels like already a bit of a 50s day. I've dug about 5 or 6 things now, which you wouldn't have seen, and they've all been in the 50s, so a bit of a theme coming through. But yeah, that's worth a dig, isn't it? Right, and as you can now see, I've gone for it on the old layers front. I feel like the Michelin man. I've got so many layers on today, expecting it to be freezing, and actually it's actually quite mild. A bit drizzly and very grey, as you can see, but it's actually quite mild, so I've totally misjudged the layers today. I'm boiling now, but I'm only here a couple of hours, so we shall see how we get on. Right, what was it? 58 again, was it? Yeah, I've had a few of those now, and it all turned out, well, having that halfpenny turned out to be not a lot, but right, it's out, and it's 58 still. Let's see what we got. A bit more green, is it? Not very round this time, though. Don't know. It's got a bit of iron going through it, which is interesting because I didn't hear a grunt in the tone. Just wipe it on my towel. Don't know. Don't know whether that's a pattern or just a bit of iron. Anyway, we'll move on. Right, the next one. It looks awful, but it was coming up in about 67, 68 when it was in the ground. I'm not sure what it is. It might be a coin. Getting in there. I don't know if you can see it just next to that stone, just there. It looks coin shaped, or it could be buttony, of course. No, that feels like a coin to me. Yeah, I think that is a coin. Again, awful light today. I'm not having much luck actually. I've dug quite a few holes since you last saw me, and it's been random rubbish and a lot of junk. Found a bit of a clog off an old clock, or a cog even off an old clock. Bits and bobs, you know. Oh, that could be coin. Something on there, isn't there? That's quite cool. That might be an interesting coin actually. Right, let's get the squirter out. Back to you in a sec. Yeah, that is not your standard coin, that. I am not sure what that is, but it's a coin, of that I'm sure. But that could be a continental coin, I suspect. Don't know. Any ideas? Yeah, there's definitely like an inner ring there, isn't there? Okay. All right. Well, I won't waste any more time. That can go in the box, and we'll have a look at that back at the ranch. But yeah, that's quite cool. It's kind of farthing sized, in case you wondered. And it's definitely got something about it. Excellent. Well, we look forward to looking at that one a bit later. See you in a bit. Next one. Mid-90s. Little blob on the target line. What are you going to do? You're going to dig it, of course. And mid-90s deserves nothing less than a live dig. It's quite a trashy field, this one, by the way, so I do tend to dig quite a lot of rubbish, but also skip a lot of tones because I'll get them another day, but when you're on a short hunt, you kind of want some of those tones that are a little bit sharper, but also where those blobs on the target line are a little bit more, you feel a bit more certain about them. But having said that, I've probably just gone and jinxed it, haven't I? Well, it's disc shaped, as I said, but I don't think it's going to be a coin. No, it's not. Your tease. Some sort of ringy thing. Oh, that's a shame. Oh well, it's worth it. You can see why you dig that, can't you? Nice and thick and round. Hence why the tone and the blob on the target line was worth every minute of digging that. Sadly, the net result possibly wasn't worth quite it. But there you go. That's all right. We'll move on. Well, by golly, 2.5 hours goes quickly. My time's nearly up. Had a couple of stops, one for a quick cup of coffee and also one to take a phone call. But other than that, I've been swinging pretty much consistently and digging holes. So yeah, time flies when you're having fun, as they say. Maybe one or two more. I'm kind of walking back towards the car now, but that's quite an intriguing one. Mid to high 70s. Small blob. Please don't be foil. How about that? But yeah, as I was saying, time flies when you're having fun. And it was fun. But we're running out of time. We're running out of light, more importantly. It's very late in the day. Sun's pretty much gone by 4 o'clock now. This time of year, we're into December now. And this will probably air mid-December-ish, I would think. So yeah, yeah, running out of time. Please be good, whatever you are. Lots of stones. Please don't be foil. Yeah, well, still a 77. And we see it rummaging around. Nothing coin shaped at this moment in time. I think this is a fancy button, actually. You can see that. Lots of gold gilding on it, whatever it is. Yeah, and definitely a button. Oh, that's quite cool. Oh, we don't mind that at all. Lots of gold gilding, actually. Right, let's give that a squirt. Back to your sec. Just when I thought I'd found all the naval buttons you could find on this permission, and I have found hundreds over my 3 or so years detecting on this farm, we found another one, and that will be some yacht club or other. You can see the anchor. Looks like there's a crown above it. Would have been a real fancy one of someone's real fancy blazer, I would imagine, back in the day. And these ranging dates, the naval buttons I find right into the 1800s and obviously much newer, up to kind of Second World War time. So we'll have a look at that back at the ranch. But yeah, I'm very happy with that. A couple of coins and a really nice button. Some other bits and bobs, but we have got time. We're still going back to the car and there's a good couple of 100 yards left yet. So stick with me and we'll hopefully find a couple more for you. See you in a bit. Well, no sooner had we found that lovely naval button, which is on my very last hole, no more than a minute later, or two, we got one in the 60s, and good 5, 6, possibly even 7 inches down, I see a green disc, and I'm pretty comfortable that that's a coin from here. He says, yep, definitely, and that's a penny, I think. Yeah, definitely a penny. Oh, brilliant. That's another coin. Well happy with that. Cool. And that's a nice jade green one, so I suspect either a Vicky or a George V. Let me give it a squirt. Here we are. Is that 1871? Something like that. So I suspected that's going to be a Victoria. Yeah, you can... There she is. There you are, Mum. Lovely bunhead Victoria. Given away by that lovely jade green colour. Oh, well, that's awesome. Don't mind that at all. Nice 1 penny from Victoria herself. Excellent. Right. Well, let's crack on. See if we can get 1 or 2 more. Next one's really interesting. Coming up in the 80s. Not deep. I only needed my hand digger, so no idea. Quite chunky. Is it Buckley? I don't know. I genuinely don't know. I think it's got some age to it. That's pretty cool. But not sure. Okay, well, we'll investigate that one back at home. Like London buses, these naval buttons. Nothing for months on this permission. And then 2 in about the space of 10 minutes. Oh, we'll take it. It's a tiny one though, but very pretty. Looks like there's 3 anchors on there. Excellent. Right, let's move on. That's it, folks. As you can see, we're nearly out of light. It's about 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. So we're going to be dark very soon. And I just suddenly realised it's been one of those days. I've just been away with the fairies today for some reason. Just suddenly realised, of course, that my car isn't in its usual place. Hence the start and the B-roll. I went into the woods so I could do a little bit of that. So I parked in a different place. So I've actually got quite a long walk to get back to my car. Anyway, there you go. About 2.5 hours. We've got some coins and some bits and bobs. So feel free to stick around to the roundup and see what we got. There's a mystery coin in there, so I'm really looking forward to finding out what that's all about. We just had one in the 80s down there. And it's a bit of green, bit of copper. Don't think there's anything on it. Bit of nothingness. So with that, I think I'm going to call it. Turn the Manticore off. Take stock. And head back to the car. So as always, massive thank you, really do appreciate it. It's getting near Christmas, so don't forget the LP code if you want to get some last minute bargains for you or your loved ones. The LP code notched 10 is in the description, and obviously will come in different parts of this video. And of course you can also save yourself 10% at Artiseal. The lovely lady will be more than happy to give you 10% off if you put my code in. Again, that's in the description. But for now, I'm waffling again. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you soon. There we are, folks. Well, I've definitely had worse 2.5 hours on the field, but it wasn't a very inspiring day, very grey, miserable and wet, but that field always tends to throw up targets, and it did again. This is literally everything. I don't recall throwing anything away. We've still got lots to find on that field. As I say, I can only get on it a few months a year, so this is my second time this year, or this winter anyway, until the cattle come back in the spring. So I shall probably use that as my go-to place when I have only a very short window of time to do a video. We've got plenty of stuff in Cat Corner. This thing is some sort of base, possibly a base off a candlestick or something like that. We had a bit of a clock coggery. Hey Andrew. We had a few bits of lead, 3 buttons, and then we had this curious piece. I don't know, is that buckley? Is that an end cap off something? Don't know. Any thoughts, let me know. We had 3 naval buttons. I filmed only 2, but unfortunately the best one was the one I didn't film, and that was the one coming off the field at the end after I'd done the outro. And we've got a RSYC with an anchor and a crown. That's the Royal Solent, or the Royal Southampton Yacht Club, I believe. We've got this one, which is the one I didn't film, which is beautiful, lovely in black, look. Almost a black green. RTYC and a crown and an anchor. That's the Royal Thames Yacht Club. And then the Diddy one we found, yep, it's got 3 anchors on it, as I suspected, on the field. Bit of gold gilding as well, it's quite nice that. That says KYS, so that's a yachting society, so I suspect that's Kent, but I haven't done any research. But again, I never mind finding those buttons, they're so pretty, and I really enjoy getting those off the fields. Then we've got a George V halfpenny, 1920, not in the best of nick, but you can probably just about see Britannia and 1920 there. We had a Queen Victoria young bunhead, nice and jade green, but again, not in the best of conditions. And you can see 1871, so that's good. We don't mind that at all. And then the best find of the day for me anyway was the mysterious coin. I thought it was Continental when I picked it out of the ground. It's not, it's nowhere near Continental. It's actually from Colchester, just down the road. And it says the Colchester Co-op Society Limited. It's a 6p token, trading token. And it says it's got 6D and mutuality underneath. The cooperative society in the UK is a mutual. And what that basically means is that the customers own it. It's not owned by any shareholders or anything like that. Still going today. And this would have been obviously usable as tender in their shops to buy your groceries or whatever. So it's the same, it's replicated on both sides. Colchester Co-op Society Limited, 6D Mutuality. So that's really cool. Lovely little local trade token. So never mind finding that. The mystery is solved. A lovely 2.5 hours on the field. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Stay tuned for more episodes coming in due course. But of course, for now, thanks as always. Don't forget the LP discount code, notched 10 in today's description, as is the Artiseal 10% code. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care.